Why is it that in the West, where the majority are riotous eaters of flesh, or making lifestyle changes, ordering more and more plant-based dishes? In the Proverbs of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 21, it tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And so today, I want to take you on a journey, a vlogging journey, that is, where we will ask the people, why do they desire health? Do they desire life? Because of their ordering habits and choices? Let's ask them and find out why today. I'm here with Katarina, and we are asking the American people why and more people are ordering plant-based. So Katarina, why do you think more and more Americans are ordering plant-based? Do you know the term plant-based?
Yes. Basically, the food is just made out of plants.
Just made out of plants. Yeah. All right, wonderful. The food is made out of plants. Yeah. That is right. The food comes from plants. I'm here with
Matt.
Nice to meet you,
Roosevelt. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And today we're going to ask Matt, based on Grubhub, as we know, they came out with an article towards the end of 2018, and it was showing that most of their orders were actually plant-based, and the top 2 orders were the bean burrito and the poke bowl. Now, this trend was started from way back as of 2016, and it was pointing upward to a more plant-based diet. So Matt, do you know what plant-based is?
Plant-based, yeah. So I mean, you know, I've been kind of eating like vegetarian, so I kind of understand it. It's just like, you know, it's just like taking out meat from the diet and eating more plant-based stuff like veggie burgers and stuff, and like veggie-based stuff. It's like, you know, pea protein, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I know what that is.
Again, and here I'm here with Piper and Sai. You know what a plant-based diet is? What do you know?
Okay, so it's basically a healthier diet that a lot of people in St. Petersburg are going for.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of
vegetables. Yes, you're right, man. And actually, it's in the definition of itself, plant-based. So the base of the food is actually from plants. All right. And so, do you know? Have you ever heard of Grubhub?
Oh yeah. I work for Bite Squad. You ever heard of Bite Squad? It's
I've
just like
heard
Grubhub.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice. Yes, and we know that it's an ordering food company, and basically you order and the food is delivered to your house.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And now over 60 million users use Grubhub, and this trend of them eating more plant-based was from these users. Now, do you know anyone who eats a plant-based diet, or any celebrities?
Celebrities, I can't think off the top of my head, but like I have some people I know, like my buddy Woody, he's like my best friend. He is vegan, like he's completely vegan. He doesn't eat any meat. He only eats like, you know, like vegan food, which has like no animal byproducts. Doesn't eat dairy, cheese, any of that kind of stuff.
You guys ever heard of Grubhub?
Yes.
You have. What do you know about Grubhub?
So commercials.
Commercials? You?
I have never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of Grubhub?
Yes.
Wonderful. What do you know about Grubhub?
I think I've used it for food delivery.
Oh wow, wonderful, wonderful. And this is why I'm going to ask you, because according to Grubhub, toward the end of the year, it shows that more and more Americans are actually ordering plant-based. And actually, at least 5 of the top 10 food choices for 2018 was plant-based. The top 2 was the bean burrito and the poke bowl. So according to Grubhub, why do you think more and more Americans are ordering plant-based?
It's because maybe they're getting more conscious about what they're eating and they want to eat healthier. So they think that eating a plant-based diet will be better for their health. And also probably maybe they're becoming more aware about the industry behind animal products and cruelty. So maybe it's a combination of them caring more and also caring about their diet and animals.
Oh wow, that's right. You have a great point here. You said that they are becoming more health conscious in what they even partaking of, because according to the Bible, in Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21, it actually tells us that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. And so do you think that more Americans desire life, and that they are desiring life and actually eating more healthfully because death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they come to the conclusion that if I want to prolong my life, I must change my diet, eat a certain way to prolong life?
Yeah, because I mean up to probably the 2000s, thousands. And even today, the like standard American diet is very unhealthy. It's based out of processed foods, and it's very inflammation, and you can see the trends in disease, and
Oh, wow.
it's more likely because of really unhealthy diet.
Wow, you have a point here. You know, and the acronym for the Center of American Diet is called the S.A.D diet. You know, it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Now, where do you think the idea of plant-based come from?
Maybe from societies that follow that diet and they have fewer health issues.
Okay.
But I haven't thought about it. So
You haven't thought about it? Yeah, actually, I have a point. You know, in the Bible, actually starting with Genesis, because even after Genesis, we see, you know, many people partaking of a healthier, just like Daniel. You ever heard of the Daniel fast and the Daniel diet? You know, people talk about Ezekiel. You know, they have the Ezekiel bread, all of these things. But in the Bible, in the creation of man, Genesis chapter 1, the first book of the Bible, it actually says in Genesis 1:29. Actually, I'll have you read it. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. It says, I'll have you read it. Genesis 1:29. Go ahead. Verse 29.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
Yes, and that word meat meaning food. And so we see that in the beginning that God prescribed a plant-based diet for men to partake of. And he desires them to be in health, to prosper. And so today, in today's society, more and more people are actually going back to what God designed, unbeknownst to them that it was God's plan for them to be in health and prosper. And so more and more Americans are doing these things. Now, do you think they should give the credit to God or to man, or where should they give the credit to?
I'm not religious, so I can't say. But it's nice that it is in the script of the Bible. It's a good message to send.
It is, and that's right, and that's actually God's plan for us, Katarina. In 3 John 2, He actually tells us, Beloved, above all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. And He wants to give us the best nutrition for our life. And even in today's society, even athletes are changing their diet because they see that eating a plant-based diet, you know, give them more energy, they get less inflammation, and it gives them overall health, better health, and still perform at a high level. And this is God's plan for each and every one of us to have optimal health and vigor of life. So I want to thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I hope that you continue. Do you partake of a plant-based diet?
Actually, mostly, and the only meat I eat is humanely raised, or as much as possible. So I'm very careful with the meat I buy.
All right.
So not completely.
Not complete plant-based.
But
at least you're taking a step, because the Bible tells us as we see iniquity abounding in the land, more and more animals will become diseased, and it will be unhealthy for men to even partake of. And so there will come a time where we will have to completely be plant-based as in the beginning, because the disease in the land is so prevalent, and the way they treat the animals and the slaughterhouse, the adrenaline, all of these things goes into the bloodstream of the animal, and that's why we intake. And so I want to thank you for your time once again, and I hope that you may continue, you know, better your health, and even continue to read and study for yourself, even this interview. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Take care. Now, why do you think more and more Americans are ordering plant-based, a healthier choice per se?
Basically, social media. Everybody wants a healthier lifestyle.
Healthier lifestyle? What do you say?
We have one of the highest obesity rates out of any of the countries.
Okay, obesity rates in the country. All right, these are good. And I like that you mentioned that, because in the Bible, it tells us that in Proverbs 18:21, it says that death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. Now, based on this scripture, do you believe that more and more Americans desire health, desire to live longer?
Yes, but basically like, every revolution, like, it's not basically the diet, like medicine coming out. People aren't living till 40 anymore.
Oh wow. Oh wow, I see that. And one reason that they're turning to this diet because they see that a plant-based diet prolongs life. Even more athletes and celebrities. Oh wow. Sorry about that. Cut.
You know, I know a few other people who are like vegetarian too.
Okay, so. Now why do you think they eat the way they do?
I think it's for health reasons, and also probably for you know, like animal rights, that kind of thing. Like animals shouldn't be, you know, butchered and just, you know, eaten basically, you know, for our, you know, enjoyment. They should you know, be able to live just like us, you know, that kind of thing. So.
You know, you have a point there, Matt, and even you mentioned health reason. You know, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 18 verse 21, it says that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruits thereof. And so we see that more and more Americans desire life, desire health, and so they eating, you know, it's in the power of the tongue. So what they putting in the body, we know it breaks down into the blood, it gives us nutrition, and what you put in, you know, is what comes out, is what shows.
True.
And so more and more people want health, and so they partaking of that which is healthy. Now, do you know where the plant-based come from, or the origin of it?
Not really. I really have no idea where it started, you know, like where it came from.
Well, the Bible tells us in Genesis 1:29. Actually, I have it here, and you could read it for us. And also we see Genesis 1:29, and also Genesis 1 verse 30. Not only did God give this diet to man, also to animals. And so Genesis chapter 1 verse 29, I'll read it in your hearing. It says, Genesis 1:29, it says, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree and the which is a fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So that word meat means food. And so we see that this was in the beginning, in Genesis, where everything was created. And this is what God gave to men, and he knew what was best for men. And so in today's society, towards the end of the world, we see that more people wants to go back to a healthier lifestyle, because the Bible tells us in these last days the animals will be diseased, and that we must go back to a healthier lifestyle, because it will not be safe to partake of these things anymore. And we see this going on in today's society.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, Matt, I want to thank you for this interview. So based upon this interview, will you even partake of a healthier diet? Because
I mean, you know, definitely. Like I said, I'm already doing like vegetarian. I won't say I'm strict, you know, but I've really cut out a lot of meat from my diet, because I used to eat it all the time. You know, I just thought, okay, this is what we're supposed to do, just eat meat, you know, and veggies. But now it's just like I just eat, you know, veggie-based diet. I feel better. I feel less guilt, you know, for what I eat, and you know, I think it's much better. I think there's tasty options.
Oh wow, you know, you have a point there. Even more athletes are changing their diets, because it don't only make them feel better, they are able to perform at a higher level as well. That's and good, even recover at the same time. And so I want to thank you for this interview once more, and I hope that you continue to, you know, even read and inform yourself on how to care for this body, natural laws as well, showing how to give the body proper nutrition. All of these things can benefit our lives as well. And so I just want to encourage you guys, you know, to continue to read and study and see how the body obtains proper nutrition, so that we may be in health and prolong our life. All right, I want to thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure speaking with you guys. All right, you're welcome. And so
it's all important. Yeah.
It's all important in there, and the proper nutrition can promote our life. And the Bible tells us, last to end here, 3 John 2, it says, beloved, above all things, I wish that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. So not only spiritually, but physically as well. Physically, mentally.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. There you have it. And with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in and joining us.
All right. Peace. Thanks again.
All right. You're welcome.
All right.
Take care. Alright everyone, so we have come to the end of our vlog for the day. As we all can see, more and more Americans are giving up the S.A.D diet and are taking up a more health promoting, life sustaining diet that can be traced back to the beginning of time in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. That can be traced back to the beginning of time in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. And so I want to thank you all for tuning in and joining in with us. Until then, God bless.